Not at all. I think, more importantly, I think you need to give France respect in the way that they are always going to respond after the adversity that they experienced. I thought they were fabulous. They were very emotional in their warm-up. We always knew that they were going to come with that, and you have to respect, a World Cup semi-final. We had to work our way to be able to create pressure back on them. They were starting to create pressure on us, probably more through our own doing, through cumulative error. We weren't quite as accurate as we needed to be at that point. But it's a credit to the girls the way that they came out in the second half and broke them. I always said to the girls this game would take a lot longer, to be a lot harder to break this opposition, and it certainly presented that.
So in those crucial moments when France were definitely still in that fight and kind of getting over that try line, there were huddles behind the post. What were kind of the messages that you were saying to the girls?
It was a lot about just sticking to our process. I think that was the main thing that we've kind of been speaking about all week, and it was just staying calm and we know how to beat France, but we just had to stick to that process and put it into plan.
And Mitch, Ellie got player of the match, but just how good was Meg Jones out there today?
Yeah, Meg's, Ellie's special, isn't she? But all these players are special in different ways, but Meg's inspirational.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nikki?
Zoe, I've overheard on the ref mic at the start of that second half, carry. It seemed that England had gone away from that in the first half, perhaps a bit too much tip-on in the conditions. Did it need that refocus at half-time to find that more Route 1 style against what you're up against?
I think so. We just wanted to be a bit more direct, a bit more clinical, and I think that's how we do it. We like to carry hard. We've got some big ball carriers out there, so stick to those strengths and create momentum that sort of way.
Yeah, Mitch, were those any of the messages at half-time from yourself?
Yeah, I was throwing around water bottles and being angry. No, we were very calm at half-time. It's just a measure of the belief within the group. We just, again, like I said to Sarah, I just thought they were building pressure on us, and we needed to change that around. And a lot of that cumulative error was our own doing. And yes, we did become direct, and the second half performance was outstanding.
John, can I just ask you about Ellie again? She had a bit of treatment at the end. I don't think she stayed on, but is she okay?
Not sure. Really not sure. We'll need to go through the medical process and stuff, but I actually haven't spoken to anyone, so we'll just need to go through all our next day's sort of visits and assessments. But yeah, at this point in time, there's nothing being sent my way. Normally it is pretty early, so fingers crossed.
So you don't even know what the injury was?
No.
Okay.
No.
And can you how important or how valuable is it to have someone like Ellie who, in a tight game, can pull out these sort of big individual moments and there were two crucial moments there where she stunned the crowd and put daylight between England and France?
Yeah, well, I guess she's special, isn't she? Because she deserves her accolades as last year's World Player of the Year. She's still very, very young. Everyone puts her on a poster. Everyone's superstars of it. She's a very humble girl. Photography and other bits and pieces, and the way that she just loves being creative. She's not a girl or a woman that you box. She's inspired by autonomy. She only needs a little bit of structure. She's dealing with life very well because she's put on a pedestal and it's quite new to her in her life. So it's really important that we support her in that space, but also allow her to chase her goals.
A lot of talk in the build-up to this about it being a home World Cup, but can you both just tell us how thrilled you are to be in next weekend's final now? Yeah, we are super thrilled, and we just have absolutely loved the amount of support that we had, going around at the end. That was such a special moment when Abby was playing the drums and then the crowd was shouting England back at us. It was goosebump moment, and I think just the feeling that we've had throughout this World Cup, the momentum that the fans have brought into us is so special. And when we've been in Bristol, Northampton, Brighton,
meeting people on the streets. Like this week we had a group of schoolboys that were running past the bus to try and get autographs, so we were like signing and like handing it out to the bus while we were in the traffic lights. So yeah, it's just been absolutely incredible, the whole support, and yeah, I cannot wait for one more week.
I ask you the same question?
Yeah, when we left the hotel for the ground, like all the staff came out of the back and around just as we were leaving. So they're just sort of little moments, and then there was a moment today when one of the ladies in the hotel who works in the office, she bought the girls, or bought in an oil painting of 32 of the girls in a just painted on this board over the last 2 days. Figurettes of all the girls just naturally in action shots. It's an unbelievable, with a rose in the middle. So it's something that we can put back up in the performance hub, back in Bagshot. But it's like those are the little things that matter.
And with all of that in mind, can you just tell us what it would mean to take that next step next weekend and to win this World Cup?
Well, we've earned the right to contest the final. So it's a new game in itself. No one really remembers how you get there. No one will ever remember how we won today over time. So we just got to, again, stay on process, narrow our focus. We've got a short week. We've got to recover well as well, and have some fun and really enjoy the week as well, with it being in our country. And the two best teams in the world are in the final. How good's that? You know, we're one, Canada are one, and they deserve to be there because they've been playing outstanding as well.
Can I just finally ask you about last night, because everyone was gripped watching them knock out the Black Ferns. What did you all make of it? I know you'd said in the week that you were going to have it on in the team room.
Yeah, we watched it in the team room. I think it was like a great spectacle for women's rugby, and yeah, it was just such a competitive game.
Yeah, no, it was. New Zealand got themselves in a little bit of trouble by not kicking, didn't they? So, yeah, like Canada have got a good kicking game, and they've got a good all-round game, really. So we'll put our heads into them on Monday and see what we can get.
Thank you.
Hi, John. With the final in mind, how much better do you think you'll be for this semi-final? You know, it's a proper game, a proper test, a real hit out. How much do you think that's actually going to be a benefit to you with the final in mind?
Who knows, really? I'm sure it will. The girls are highly driven, so they like to be at their best. They'll understand whether they're at their best. It's not about us as coaches getting in row to the girls at this point in time, but yeah, they're hard markers, so they'll be driven to be better, and they certainly understand what excellent connection means. So yeah, they'll look back on their games, I think, and but hey, France is gone. This is a different contest. It'll be played differently as a result of the opposition. The opposition have got strengths, and the opposition have got weaknesses as well. So it's a matter of who initiates those first and exploits them, and in the meantime, make sure that you remain calm and you build pressure on them. So all the same factors that we've been using in the tournament will stand out in our preparation.
And in 2019, you were obviously part of an England team that had an amazing performance in a semi-final. Then in the final, maybe struggled to hit those heights. Do you think Canada can be as good again?
Not sure. See what we get.
Thank you.
Zoe, bonjour. You know very well Ellie, but are you still impressed by what she did on the pitch? And what was your feeling when you saw her this afternoon run, cross the pitch, beat all the French defender?
Yeah, Ellie is absolutely electric. Like, she can make something out of nothing, and yeah, it's just about trying to keep behind her. But like, there's no doubt that she's going to keep going and get over that line. But yeah, she was fantastic this evening.
If you could just pass behind you, that would be great. Thank you.
I was just wondering, because it wasn't quite clicking for you in that first half. What did you say at half-time? And also, given what Canada did last night, is that concerning going into next Saturday?
We weren't playing Canada today. So we're focusing on France, and yeah, our cumulative error put us under pressure, and we basically, as Zoe and I have both said, we just solved it very quickly about being direct, which then allowed us to build pressure.
Mitch, just a word on Hannah Bottom's performance today. I think she won 3 turnovers in the first half when you were under pressure. She said in Sunderland that she wanted to be recognised as the best loose head in the world. Is she on her way to doing that?
I think Bots actually, as much as those jackals are pretty important, or in timing-wise, I thought she scrummed very well today. I thought she dealt with probably a French scrum that probably lacks consistent shape, but is very powerful. So I think she was technically very, very good today. So she created a lot of the margins that we gained at scrum times through her shape.
John, just a question on what are you going to be talking to the girls about this week to prepare them for a World Cup final?
Geez, I haven't even thought about that. We've been very, very good about like dealing with one performance at a time. It's always a little bit emotional at the end of a game, so we need to come down and relax. We've been very good at basically with the on and off button, so we'll just switch off tonight. And we'll get back together as staff on Monday night, and then we'll get into our work, week's work. So, but I think like I said before, we won't get in the road of the girls. We'll make sure that they enjoy the week, but they'll understand the 3 key areas that'll be the key to performance.
And Zoe, just a quick question for you. I'm sure given the last tournament and all of that, there's a lot of pressure building up to this week. I just wanted to check in with you, and what are you thinking, and what are you going to be saying to the team to prepare them for the pressure of Saturday?
We think pressure is such a privilege. Like we've earned that over the last 3 years, and we just cannot wait for this week and to get out there. We're going to keep it calm and stick to our processes.
Hi. So you and the team have really set the tone this tournament in the way that you've connected with the fans and building on what we saw at the last World Cup and alongside what other teams are also doing. How does the team feel about that, and how special is it to see this growth and support at home? I mean, we're seeing how long, today especially, the fans are staying well after the final whistle, and the team's engaging so much with that. I mean, it's just wonderful to see. How does that feel to see that kind of connection with the fans?
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to connect with our fans. I think we make it our kind of responsibility to make sure we're getting round at the end of games to meet all those people that come and support us, because we want that to be our point of difference in women's rugby, that people can feel connected. We show our personalities and people can get to know us on that one-on-one personal level. And I think this tournament's just been so special in us being able to do that and meeting so many fans from all across the country, right from up to Sunderland down to Brighton and now across to Bristol. And I think it's just been an enormous privilege to be able to perform in front of our fans, and it's just amazing to inspire those young girls that are coming to our games, and it's visible for them to see that now we can be role models for them to go out and do whatever they want to be.
And just another question, it's going to be another record-breaking crowd next weekend, and not just that, but nearly double the last one, and at home. How does that feel?
It's absolutely incredible. I think it's like a credit to the work that's gone in behind the scenes and building this tournament. And I think that having a sold-out Twickenham is just the most special thing for women's rugby and the future ahead. I think this is just the start of it now, and I just cannot wait to see what's to come.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Time for one last question at the front.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, first of all, please feel free to flag me if this is too similar to anything ever been asked before. But France, especially in the last, since the previous warm-up game, especially, they've had previous success in shutting down your attack in the back, especially in the back line, like in defence today. But today, we had Ellie Kildare and Meg Jones score. What exactly made the difference today in terms of opening up your attack to be able to get over the line?
I think there was a couple of really special unstructured tries, wasn't there, Ali. And when we were able to build pressure and own the last 22, we were able to eventually break him. We'd like to do that more. But for some reason, France seemed to love our soil. We talked about it during the week, actually, around the mystery of them performing so well here in England. And definitely there was a response by them emotionally, which you can expect after the adversity that they experienced. But we overcome all that and earned the right.